farming is an exercise that is practiced in both large and small scales. In sub-Saharan Africa, maize is regarded as the common man's food. The country produces about 70% of the total produce of the commodity for the country's consumption, and the remaining 30% is attained through importation from leading maize-producing countries in the West. The country's demand for maize is high, and the government, through the National Cereals and Produce Board, sets aside a target of 3 million bags of maize for food security that is expected to feed the country during hunger month.
From the long range, we produced 19 million bags, and from the short range, we expect 5 million bags, a total of 24 million bags. Plus the 4 million bags through importation, both by private sector and the government, it will bring to 28 million bags. It's still a shortfall of 4 million bags.
Poor marketing of the maize produce and lack of awareness amongst farmers on how to take good care of the maize is the only undoing. Farmers are more often than ever exploited by unscrupulous businessmen, especially in this era of post-liberalization.
Hawa wafanyi biashara wengine ambao wananunua mahindi yetu wanachukua kwa bei ya chini sana, na baadaye wakati wa njaa wakirudishia bei inakuwa juu sana, hata mara 3 kuliko wale walikununua kwetu.
Mimi nimenunua 1,550, alafu ninauza 1,600. Tena wanaweka maoso, tena wanaleta korokoro yenye hata itoshi. Hakuna sahi faida.
Before the 1992 liberalization of the maize sector, farmers never had problems in the marketing of their products. They sold their maize directly to the National Cereals and Produce Board, which gave them a good value for their produce. But after liberalization, things changed and farmers started suffering, especially in the hands of middlemen. Due to this, farmers are unable to access markets for their produce. They lack capital, storage facilities, and transport to markets which may be far from their respective areas. And now, Sacred Africa has found a lasting solution to this problem by providing necessary assistance to farmers.
And we saw that liberalization really led to a lot of exploitation of farmers within the marketplace. The middlemen will always come and offer very low prices for their maize. And every year when we had a very, very good harvest, usually this leads to a very low or depressed prices. So we have been studying these problems. As you know, in Western Kenya, poverty is also very, very high. Almost close to 60% of the people live below the poverty line. So in 2002, Sacred Africa, with support from the Rockefeller Foundation, initiated a project that is helping farmers to improve the marketing of their produce, and we are calling this project the Maize Marketing Movement. Currently, through this project, we have established 10 cereal banks within Bungoma district, and we have also established another 12 cereal banks in Vihiga, in Siaya, and in Mumias Butere.
Already, several cereal banks have been opened and are fully operational in Western Kenya, mainly in Bungoma, Butere, Mumias, Vihiga, and Siaya districts, and plans are underway to have many more others open.
Vile sisi tuliungana tunaponunua mahindi, tunaona tunalipa members vizuri sana. Tena bei ni nzuri. Kwa sababu tumepewa nafasi ya kuuza mahindi kama millers in Nairobi. Hata wakati tumeanza kuuzia huko Siaya mahali hakuna mahindi, tunaona bei ambayo tunafikiria ni ya kiwango kizuri.
Sacred Africa huwa inanisaidia hivi. Kwanza ina bei mzuri, nikifuna mahindi yangu huwa nauza kwa bei iliyo sawa kabisa, hata kuliko ile vile awali tulikuwa tunauza kule Bungoma, kwani nikishafuna huwa nauzia hapo Mayanja kwa bei mzuri sana. Ni hivyo ndio imeniwezesha ili nilime, kwani kuuza sio shida.
For many years, the management of cooperative societies that are supposed to benefit farmers has been bad and funds embezzled by managers. And to try to avoid past mistakes, especially those engineered by the cooperative societies, and to build trust and openness and accountability amongst farmers, Sacred Africa, through its lawyer John Makali, has written a constitution that contains rules to be abided by all farmers. Farmers joining the cereal banks are required to swear by the constitution Besides swearing in the members, officials too take oath of honesty and leading the members of cereal banks in accordance with the constitution. To become a member, a farmer has to pay a registration fee of 300 shillings, contribute 2 bags of good quality maize as minimum shareholding in the community cereal banks. He or she must be willing to join others in cleaning, sorting, drying and bagging of maize in what could be referred to as collective responsiveness.
And the idea about cereal banks is for farmers to come together. A group of farmers, say 40, 50 or 60, they pay a registration fee, then they buy shares using the commodity, the maize or the soya or the groundnuts. So like in Bungoma here, they buy shares with a minimum of 2 bags of maize, and then Sacred provides training to them in how to operate in a liberalized economy. We also provide training in leadership, in management, in improving of the quality of the maize.
Huu mradi umetusaidia sana sana community ya hapa, sababu hatukuwa na ujuzi wa biashara, na saizi vile Sacred walikuja wakatufunza, saizi biashara tunafanya vizuri. Mimi kama treasurer wa Sirisha saizi sina shida na record keeping kwa sababu ya ile mafunzo yenye Sacred imetupatia.
Wakulima wamefurahia kazi yetu sasa wakati katika nafasi hii, kwa sababu pay ambayo walikuwa wakipata wakati ambapo hatukuwa tumefungua store hii yetu, walikuwa wananyanyaswa sana, lakini sasa wamefurahia kwa sababu tunanunua mahindi yao kwa bei nafuu, tunawawekea na wananunua mahindi safi sana kwa sababu hata tunafanya fumigation.
Lakini vile nilipata elimu kwa siku 3 kupitia kwa mradi wa Sacred, umenifanya nimejua kuweka rekodi, nimejua labda kuhesabu pesa na kuweka vile kiwango inaweza toshana kukaa mahali popote. Hata sikuwa najua labda kuingia kwa cooperative ama commercial, sikuwa najua kuingia kwa bank. Lakini mradi wa Sacred vile nilichakuliwa kuwa kiongozi kama treasurer, umenifanya sasa nimejulikana kwa bank. Ninajua kuweka pesa hata signature sikuwa ninaweka.
Wakulima wanapata dividends hasa mwisho wa mwaka. Kitu cha pili, tuko na profits. Hiyo pia tunapata. Tukifanya biashara, hiyo inatupa pesa nyingi ili tuendelee kufanya biashara. Kitu kingine ni wakulima wanajipa moyo. Wanajua ya kwamba soko imeimarika. Sasa kule mashambani wanalima mahindi kwa wingi.
Sisi kama mimi binafsi nimesema nitaongeza shares zangu kutoka gunia 2 hata nilete 6.
They can now sell the maize directly to millers and other companies and not through middlemen. Road transport in Kenya is very expensive, hence farmers opt for rail to cut down on costs. Rail transport also allows them to sell their products to markets far away. The other advantage is that through rail transport, they pay as little as 100 shillings per bag, but they fetch as much as 15 times that amount when the maize is delivered at the Unga Kenya Limited depot.
Sacred Africa has gone an extra mile initiative to market maize from farmers, or to encourage farmers into groups to market the maize. They have given lorries to these farmers groups. Let us make sure that these lorries are able to generate money that is going to buy other new lorries for the groups. RBK Vihiga, KAB 353K. Thank you very much. Very good.
You have had a very good year actually, I understand. You have now 65 members. You have paid off all your loans. The price of the maize is fair. You're getting a good price, the quality of your maize is good, and you now have maize for the hunger season for the people of the village. This is a tremendous achievement.
The peaceful revolution therefore signifies the bold resolution by local farmers to take head-on problems affecting production and marketing of their produce in order to increase their earnings, ensure food security, and hence improve their living standards. A lot has been achieved through expertise provided by Sacred Africa and the willingness of farmers to adopt better farming practices. The success of this project has won its support from the Ministry of Agriculture and local leaders at the grassroots level. Their motto is sustaining rural agricultural production and marketing.
Kuelesha wanjala lebela wako siyatawe matali wako tiyamsange zengo tesya kama kuba musoleli kama kukupeseli bana befe maka kura mufuko kama kugera isali chakagenda embire ndimbire chwele embire bacha ninjo ye mutoka nje paka Nairobi ninjo ye mutoka ngobole kana kachiwa kumukunda ena kuligwe kolo akabaka tere akabana kali kapo indinga kakangako okakakusyata